I'm here in the Vienna Military Museum, and it's what's brought me to Vienna, because in this room ahead is something that's quite dramatic, because it's probably the trigger to the First World War. And there's part of me in awe, and the other part you really feel really sad, because this is Archduke Franz Ferdinand, whose assassination was the principal trigger to the First World War. And we all know what that meant. And this is the jacket he was wearing when he's assassinated, and you can still see the bloodstains. Let me tell you a little about it. It was 28th of June 1914, and he was the Austrian successor to the throne, as I say, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, and he was with his spouse, the Duchess Sophie von Hohenberg, and they were visiting the Bosnian capital of Sarajevo, where there'd been military maneuvers. And while he was there, if I take you over to this map, they left the station and they started travelling down the green line, and there was a bomb attempt around 10 a.m. and you can see that just here. And so they diverted on the yellow line, and then there was a student, and the student, whose name escapes me, I think it's on here, the student pointed the bullet, Gavrilo Princip, and he fired 2 shots, and he fired them at this car. And there is the bullet hole. You see it? That was the bullet hole that went into Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his the Duchess. And there's a picture of her there. She was his spouse, and they both died. And here are the guns. Now, one of these guns fired the shot, but they put 3 there. I heard the guide saying so they don't have anybody stealing them. But one of these guns pulled the trigger that killed Archduke Franz Ferdinand and the Duchess, and was the principal trigger to the First World War. And look at these amazing things here. The drive-along Apple key, a few seconds before the second assassination attempt. And there they were, the dead couple laid out at the governor's residence in Sarajevo. Another picture there. And I feel a great sense of sadness as I look around here, because I realise this entire museum, and it's huge, as indeed is the same one in London, the War Museum, is just devoted to the destruction of mankind. And it really leaves me with an overwhelming sense of sadness. And when egos get in the way, and people go to war, usually in the expectation that it'll all be over rather quickly. It went on for 4 years, and millions and millions and millions of people died. And the interesting thing is, it was the breakdown of European alliances that led to the war. The breakdown of European alliances. I'll leave you to ponder on that.